I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser and Garen guide on the Summoner School website. I gave out every single piece of information that I thought was relevant to both champions and everything that I use personally. It explains how you should play in the mid to late game, itemization, champion matchups, and more. Each guide also has a unique matchup spreadsheet. If you want to check either guide out, you can use my link in the video description. With all that being said, please enjoy this video. Right now I am doing the alcove trick. I don't want Urgot to hit his shotgun legs onto me and actually fling me, so I just stay in the alcove. This way he can't deny me minion experience. And it means I won't take any damage from him when I do this. He could ward the alcove, but the only thing he could do then is maybe auto attack me with one of his legs, since his E doesn't go through walls. This lane basically boils down to dodging his E. If he hits E, you lose. If he doesn't hit E, you win. It also depends what summoner spells he has. This Urgot has Flash Ignite, so that means he will have way more kill pressure than an Urgot with Flash Teleport. He might even look to soften you up before doing an all-in by just Q-poking you. He can also use his E to go through your pool. He can time it to use it to escape your pool, or he can use it to extend his own fling range, because he can activate it just before he gets pulled in, and then as he gets pulled in, he will fling you right after your pool ends. And then that might hit you and you're probably going to lose the fight. If you want to, you can rush Warden's Mail into him, because every single small W attack he does will be reduced by Warden's Mail. You can also rush a Bramble Vest if you want to, because each small attack will also make it to where the Bramble Vest will deal the full reflect damage onto him. Try to fight him whenever your ultimate is up, otherwise it may be very difficult to actually win the 1v1. If you both have no ultimate, you might be able to win it as long as you don't get hit by all of his legs. Or if you have Rylai's Crystal Scepter and you're able to space out his legs. The Rylai Spike is very huge here because it will allow you to stick onto him and maybe dodge out his E even more. Because when you're running towards him, that approach velocity speed will make it to where him using his E is not as guaranteed to hit. His level 9 and 1 item spike is very deadly. Once he acquires Black Cleaver, he will have a ton of damage, so you have to watch out for that. His second item can be something like a Serpent's Fang as well, and that will cut down your W shield. In this game, the only shield we have is my W, but if he goes for it, the 1v1 will be much tougher for me. You can go for something like a Zhonya's Hourglass second into Urgot if you want to. The active from Zhonya's can be used to dodge out his E-Fling or his ultimate, and that should allow you to win the 1v1. But you can also go for an item like Riftmaker or Liandry's Torment, maybe Bloodletter's Curse. Now that I have my Rylai Spike, what I can look to do is hold his wave behind his tower and then let my wave crash into his turret. And the moment my wave crashes into his tower, he won't be able to walk up the farm, because the wave will be permanently frozen on my side. So he will be forced to fight me. But once I get my ultimate, I should be able to 1v1 him. The issue is before that. And even in the 1v1 itself, he still might be able to kill me because he has Ignite and his own ultimate. This rune setup is not what I normally run into Yone. Normally I go for Inspiration secondary with Magical Footwear and Approach Velocity, and I look to rush Rylai's. But I thought it might be Akali top lane, so I took the setup I take into Akali. That being said, I still took Ignite just in case it was Yone. If I had my setup against Akali without either Ghost or Ignite into Yone, it would be really bad for me. So I kinda took a gamble, because if it would have been Akali, the Ignite wouldn't have been phenomenal. But it wouldn't have been completely horrible either. It just meant that I couldn't teleport back to lane after she pokes me. What I usually look to do is get my Bramble Vest into Yone as my first item and then get my Rylai's, and once I get the Rylai, I fight him a lot. But because I don't have Inspiration secondary, I am not going to rush Rylai. Instead, I might look to rush my Bramble Vest as per usual and then maybe get plated steel caps. And then after that, I can go into a Rift Maker. And then after Rift Maker, I can maybe get something like an Experimental Hexblade or a Liandry or Nashor's Tooth or something else. One really crucial thing to keep in mind here is the fact that Yone can use his E to cancel your ulti. When he snaps back, he is immune to your ultimate. But the moment you trap him in the Death Realm, he can never snap back until your ultimate is completely done. Even if his E duration ends, it doesn't matter, he will not snap back. And even if he activates his E during the realm, he still won't be able to snap back. Dodging out his Qs is also very important. Trying to space out as many as you can is crucial. And you also have to watch out for his Blade of the Ruin King spike. He will have a lot of damage the moment he completes that blade. The later the game goes, the stronger he becomes. And you will 100% of the time need Randuin's Omen into him later on if you still want to 1v1 him. The moment he gets something like Infinity Edge with a Mortal Reminder or Infinity Edge with an Immortal Shield Bow, his damage skyrockets really hard. So having Randuin helps out a ton because of the crit damage reduction.
Enemy rampage. Is unstoppable.
Overall, this is a pretty skilled matchup. Gangplank can do a lot into you, and even though his W no longer removes him out of your death realm, he can still fight you pretty well later on. Before your first recall, he has a lot of poke, either with his kegs or his Q. What you want to do is try to bait out his kegs as much as possible. So you walk slightly forward and then he might put up a barrel right in front of you and explode it. But then just as you walk forward, you instantly start walking back so that the keg doesn't hit you. Or you can just walk up to the barrel and try to auto attack it. And then Gangplank might attack it himself, even if it might not be at that 1 health point. Which means you will waste 1 attack on it and then you can just attack it yourself and actually destroy the barrel. You need to play around the kegs later on. Early on it is also crucial, but later on it will be very important. And ultimate timing later on matters a lot as well. Gangplank's barrels do not follow him into the death realm, which means that what you can do is wait for him to use a barrel outside, and then you can use your ultimate on him so it doesn't follow. That way he misses out on a barrel. And if you actually manage to dodge 1 or 2 kegs, it's even better. Gangplank might also go Serpent's Fang into you to cut out your W shield. That can allow him to win the 1v1. He might even go for a lot of crit later on. So if he does that, you should look to buy Ronduin's Omen. Ronduin's is especially good this game because Caitlyn will most likely also go heavily into crit, and maybe Rengar goes for a crit build as well. You can also buy Hextech Rocket build to dash out of one of his kegs, or to get closer to him to actually ulti him. Zhonya's Hourglass is also very good at allowing you to dodge out one of his kegs because you can Zhonya's and then dodge the damage. Typically, you want to abuse your Rylai's power spike as much as possible. The moment you acquire Rylai, he either beats you out in melee range or he dies. He basically has no escape the moment you have Rylai, so he needs to win the 1v1 in melee. Never let Gangplank get to the super late game because he will hurt a lot. Now that I have my Rylai's acquired, I look to freeze. So what I do is go behind his turret and hold his minions there. And the moment my wave crashes into his turret, it is going to be permanently frozen on my side. So he will be forced to walk up the farm. The way he can counter this is by actually hard pushing the next wave that comes in, and then looking to go behind my turret as well and proxy the waves. And the only thing I will be able to do in that case is proxy myself and then recall to stop it. If he doesn't do this or hold the wave before it crashes into his tower, it will be perma-frozen on my side. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by